Cowessess First Nation, members of the Cowessess First Nation in Saskatchewan spent Saturday morning placing solar-powered lights next to each of the 751 unmarked graves near the site of a former residential school. A vigil was planned for later in the evening and a moment of silence was scheduled for 7:51 p.m. load error. After that, community members planned to wait for darkness when the lights, charged by the sun during the afternoon, twinkled on one by one. The First Nation announced Thursday that the unmarked graves at the former Marywell Indian Residential School were located using ground-penetrating radar, the same technology that detected what are believed to be the remains of 215 children at another former residential school in Kamloops, BC. John Z. Lerat, a band councillor and chair of the Chief Red Bear Lodge, which is the First Nation's Child Safety Service, says there were some tears while the lights were planted in the ground on Saturday. He says the announcement of the graves has triggered numerous elders, but he says there were also laughs and smiles as families and friends gathered. To me personally, it was heartwarming for me knowing that these unmarked graves are being acknowledged. As sad as it makes me happy and a lot of others happy, Lerat said in a phone interview as he prepared for Saturday night's vigil. Lerat said the vigil, which was also to include a smudging ceremony, drumming and speeches, began with an idea from the community's youth council for a candle light ceremony. When that idea switched to a solar light ceremony, a connection with a car dealership in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, proved helpful. Lerat said a Cowessess member is a salesman with the dealership, and his boss wanted to do something to support the community. Habs fans celebrate as the Canadians make the Stanley Cup Finals. Feds release new guidance for fully vaccinated Canadians. Rally held in Edmonton after man attacks two Muslim women. Catholic Church says it will release residential school records after grave discoveries. Derek Chauvin sentenced to 22.5 years in prison for murder of George Floyd. He thinks she should find other things to do. Grand Chief Alan Dumas hate, fear and anger. Muslim women on Edmonton attacks. Keith frankly, I don't think she has the moral authority to continue on as the minister. Grand Chief Stuart Phillip. Edmonton's mandatory mask bylaw ends July 1. The vacancy rate is higher, but activists say Montreal faces affordable housing. Crisis COVID-19 survivor celebrating 100th birthday at Northwood. Thumb outlines guidance for fully vaccinated people in social settings. Montreal businesses happy to cash in on Habs excitement. Iqaluit mayor says it's time tax churches in his city. Fabulous gardens at Fanning Bank will open to the public for self-guided tours. Dr. Jazz Atwell on Manitoba's move to orange level on pandemic response system. We wanted to put a solar light at each unmarked grave, so that each and every one of them were acknowledged, Lerat said. They immediately said they wanted to help and they donated 800 solar lights. The next day they brought them down. A teepee has also been erected at the site and a fire will burn for 4 days. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau apologized Friday to the people of the Cowessess for the pain they are feeling. That suffering and grief is also prompting some communities to cancel or alter their Canada Day celebrations. Meanwhile, information is still emerging about the unmarked graves in Saskatchewan. It appears that not all of the graves contain children's bodies, Lerat said. He said the area was also used as a burial site by the rural municipality. We did have a family of non-Indigenous people show up today and notified us that some of those unmarked graves had their families in them, their loved ones, Lerat said. This report by the Canadian Press was first published June 26, 2021. The Canadian Press,